This is my Essence Catrice updated review. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today I'm going to update you on my thoughts on all of the Essence Catrice products that were new to us in Spring Summer 2026. So those products launched in January for Catrice and in February for Essence. I did my first impressions videos for you then. I've been using these products, putting them in Shop My Stashes, and now that I've used them for a few months, I can tell you a little bit more about what stood out to me, what are the things that are going into my makeup collection, and what are the things that I wasn't too fussed with, and hopefully that information can help you to decide what you would like to pick up if you haven't yet any of these products. So this is just a little bit of a user review. I'll insert any of the shorts that I've created with some of these products so far. I haven't quite managed to film all of them yet. I still have a couple of products in my Shop My Stash currently that I wasn't able to film with yet. So in case you don't know, I'm also doing shorts with a lot of the products that are in my Shop My Stash for a given month, and then I post those. But I sort of fell behind with the products I had in my Shop My Stash in January, and that's why everything is sort of like pushed back by 2 weeks. But those videos are still coming. I'm going to be filming some makeup looks where I use some of these products as well. So some of these like swatches and stuff are still coming, but if you want to see swatches and stuff, I do have those in the first impression review videos as well. So you can check those out if you want to see more of the colors and all that jazz. So we'll talk about these products from both Essence and Catrice together in the order in which I would apply them to my face. So we're first going to talk about like base products, then we'll talk about the like cheek products, then we'll do eyes, and then we'll do lips. And I now realize I forgot to take a product up here, but I'll just insert a picture here. It will be fine. We are going to start with some things that I'm like, nah, those are things I could probably do without. So these are the base products where I'm like, not really. This just, I didn't understand this at all. It's the Glow Like Honey Serum Spray by Essence. It feels greasy. It smells like artificial honey. I don't understand who would want to put this on their face. So maybe you love the scent of artificial honey. I don't know. I'm not gonna knock you down for that. Don't worry about it. But this really wasn't nice. It smelled horribly. And I think this is actually the thing that made the base that I used on top in my first impression video, which we'll talk about in a second, that made it go sticky. So this, no bueno. This is something I could do without. This is the Jelly Grip Extreme Hydrating Primer from Essence. They already did a normal version, which is a lighter green. Does this do anything extra? No. I can use the old version just fine, and it works exactly the same. The only difference between the products is this is a darker green, which when you first apply it, shows up on your skin. So I'd rather have the lighter green option that blends in a little bit more seamlessly than this venomous looking color. So for me, I could have done without that product. A Catrice product that I sort of bought for the gimmick because I was excited for this. This is the All Round Concealer Palette, and they started doing it in new shades. So this is a very, very original, going back at least more than a decade kind of product that Catrice has been doing ever since I started buying from them. They've been doing these little 5-pan concealer palettes. I think I went through 2 or 3 of those back in the day, but there were always shades in there that I liked using a little bit better than others. And now that they've come out with other shades, I was like, that's going to be fun. This lavender is a little bit too blue for my liking, but the tones in here are really good for fair skin. So that was my hope. The tones are fine. But this also made me realize that Catrice has not bothered updating this formula, and for my dry skin, it's a little bit too heavy. It's creamy though. It is a really good cream, like you could contour with one of these. This is a really nice like more of a highlighting concealer. This works pretty well for me. The orange is a good color corrector, and this as well. So these work. They work. It's fine. It's actually a really good product shade-wise. I just don't love the formula. It feels like with this product, Catrice is a little bit stuck in 2012. when I feel things like this were a little bit more of a hype, and they really haven't changed the formula. So it's a little bit thick, a little bit too heavy. Maybe if you are a lot younger than me, so if you're in your 20s, then this can work really well. I think there's definitely a market for a product like this. I'm just not part of that market. And then we have the Essence Silky Blur Translucent Loose Setting Powder. This is another product where I was like, ugh. I just spent an entire video talking about how I don't like loose powder. Here's what it looks like. It just keeps spilling out. There's nothing to protect this from going everywhere. And my hay fever and my allergies just don't like loose powder, and this just puffs up everywhere. So that's why this wasn't for me. If you like a very mattifying powder though, this is nice. It's a good powder if you want more of a matte finish to your skin. And even though I do have dry skin, the powder didn't accentuate any of my dryness. So it is a good powder from that regard, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. So if the audio changes, then I do apologize, but my battery of my microphone just died, so bear with me. I hope the audio isn't too echoey. I was just telling you how my ColourPop Pretty Fresh broke down on me. The spritzer no longer works, so it gave me an opportunity to use the new Catrice Aqua Splash Grip Fixing Spray. This is exactly the same thing as the Pretty Fresh. I feel it does exactly the same thing. It works just fine. I do find the spritzer on this a little bit aggressive. Is it fine for now? Am I gonna use it up? Yes, because it is a good setting spray. I like it, but it takes a lot of spritzers, and this only comes with 55 milliliters. So I've only been using it for like a week or two, and I'm already down to here. So this is not, I think, the rest of April, and then maybe like a week or two in May, and this is gonna be gone completely. Maybe already within April, I will be able to use this up. Just to let you know. I've had that experience with other setting sprays by these brands before, where they are good, I just go through them really quickly. From Catrice, again, the primer and the CC Red Correct, or that's what the other product is called that it's trying to dupe, but these are both dupes. These are good. The Glass-like Pearl Primer, it's exactly the same as the MAC Strobe Cream. Exactly the same thing. Gives the same effect to the skin, just as hydrating. I really enjoy this. I'm actually going to keep this because my MAC Strobe Cream is running out, and I like these glowy primers a lot, and this way I don't have to repurchase the MAC. Because MAC is expensive, and this is like €5 at the drugstore, so we like that. And then the CC Skin Perfector, that's what the Catrice version is called. This is a green sort of dupe for the Herborian CC Red Correct. I like that product a lot for travel. This is just as good. I like the Herborian as well. This just has a very similar effect. If you do have a different skin tone to this though, you're not gonna like it because this only comes in one shade. It's green, and then it sort of turns into a skin tone color. It worked quite well for me. It was a touch too yellow, but for the summertime, this can actually work. And for travel, I can apply these with fingers. In fact, I would recommend using fingers because the heat of your skin is going to help to break down the green pigment and to turn it into the skin tone color it will have. And this is pretty. It's really nice. It's just as effective as the Herborian. I'm gonna keep it in because my Herborian one I've had for a while. I have a couple of trips coming up this year. If that Herborian thing runs out before I can like purchase a new one, I always have a backup of the same sort of thing. For travel, this is amazing. And then finally, this is actually on my face today because I had it in my Shop My Stash. I was like, might as well film a video with it. But this is the Silky Blur Hydrating Longwear Foundation and Concealer. The shades I have are shade 20 in the foundation, and I have shade 70 in the concealer, and these are actually really good. They aren't for me though. I have found that in using them, I need less of my primer. First of all, I need to apply less primer with this than I do with other products. So that's step one, because if you use too much primer, it goes sticky. I have found that out the hard way if you saw my first impression. But what I also don't like to do with this is set it with powder. On my dry skin, this formula sets itself. I don't need to do anything. And I find actually that it goes on really thick and heavy feeling at first, which I don't love. I don't enjoy that. It's a little too full coverage for what I like going for, but the overall finish, I mean, I like this. I haven't powdered my face at all. It's not super shiny. It's a little bit too fair for me because I bought these online and the shades that I thought I was gonna be were out of stock. So that was a bit of a shame, but I do like this. It's a good product. It's just not aimed at someone who has more mature skin. I'm already putting myself in the more mature category. I'm over 40 years old, so my skin isn't the way it used to be when I was in my 20s. If you are in your 20s, then I think you're gonna like this product, but I would not recommend this if you're over 40. I just don't think it's really made for that. And Essence, of course, is Catrice's younger sister. They tend to cater to a younger demographic. So it could very well be that in a couple of years' time, I feel that Essence is no longer right for me. But for now, the product works really well, but there were a couple of caveats, and it's like a less is more kind of product for me. If I use a little amount, not too much primer, and I don't use powder, then I can make it work. But you've seen my declutters in March. You know that I am not stressed for choice when it comes to having good base products in my collection. So if it's something I don't really have to think about how I use it, it will have my preference over this one. In the cheek department, I have loads of new favorites. It's a bit embarrassing actually, but I liked most of the products they came out with. I just didn't like the two creamy liquid highlighters from Catrice, and I didn't love these potted like body glow things that Essence came out with. Everything else works, is a beautiful color, has a great formula. They really outdid themselves again in the cheek department this time round, I find. So the two Catrice highlighters are the Diamond Haze Jelly Highlighter Stick. I just don't really like jelly stick sort of products to begin with. And this is also too dark for my skin tone. So that's why this one didn't really work for me. It just wasn't a good look. And this is the More Than Glow Liquid Highlighter. This was also a little bit too dark for me. It was better for me than the stick one, but I thought it was gonna be this really pretty like pinky tone glow. It wasn't. And then these ones were just a little frustrating. The Balm of Sunshine Face and Body Glow Balm. This is so thin, it has no color payoff. It feels very oily and slippery on the skin. This may be really pretty on the body, more so than on the face. I do realize that, but this scent, it smells like caramel. I don't love that either. And for it being a body product, the compact isn't big enough. You're not going to get a brush big enough so you can like really put it on your collarbones, for instance, into these little pots. So for me, these were a bit of a miss. But what was successful for me was this Catrice Sculpt and Charm Contour Stick. This is in the shade Ash. This is 010. This is such a good contour shade. Like, I keep saying that I like using contours as bronzers. This may very well be one of the very few, like, contour stick things that's actually a contour on me. It's gray toned enough, but I have been using it in the wintertime as bronzer. I've just found, especially with where I like to place my bronzer, that that's more of a contouring technique to begin with than I'm trying to make myself sun-kissed kind of technique. So I just feel that contour products therefore also work better for me. Plus they are often cool tone enough to go with my skin tone. Enough said. This ticks all the boxes. And the formula of this is so creamy, it's amazing. It kind of like melts into the skin, and it also melts onto the back of your hand, and then it's super easy to pick up, and it's never like weird looking. Some contours can have this weird green cast if they have a cool undertone. This one doesn't. It's amazing. And this, I mean, it's at the drugstore. It's super cheap as well. love that for me. And then the Aura Glam Bouncy Highlighter. I like this. I like this a lot. But we all know what happened to mine. I'm not going to demonstrate it again because it's in the short I filmed with this. Because as I was showcasing this in a short, the pen fell out of the compact. So I have to be very careful showing this. But you can see I've used this a lot already. Like, that's how much I like this. Maybe I need to hold it further back so you can see the stripes. I love this, and I actually accidentally bought a second one of this. I thought I had bought just one. I didn't, so maybe if I do a giveaway sometime this year, the spare one I have is probably going to be in there. I'm gonna keep this one. It hasn't broken, but I do think because this is like a jelly kind of texture, it tends to like shrink a little bit, I think, and that's why mine fell out, but it hasn't broken yet. So unless it breaks and it becomes too messy, I'm gonna keep this around because I like that product a lot. And then I have this Essence little face palette. I put this one in my travel makeup section because I think this can be nice for travel. It has a good enough bronzer, highlighter, and blush situation for me personally. This is perhaps a little bit more golden tone, but I can make the other shades work. And this was actually quite nice. I enjoyed using it. And it's a dupe for Hourglass, in case you were like, that looks familiar. It does. And then they both did some new blush products as well in singles, and I liked all of these. This Essence Soft Bake Blush is currently on my cheeks. This is in Berry Bliss. This is what's currently on my face, and I need the lightest hand with both of these Essence blushes. Don't go ham. These are super pigmented, especially this berry tone. It's really pretty. It's really pretty on, but use a light hand or a very fluffy brush. The other blush I have from Essence is the Blush Crush in Cherry Kiss. And this is a very similar shade to the Soft Bake, but the Soft Baked has a bit of shine, and this one is all matte. I wear the other one more for that reason. I like a bit of glow on my cheeks. As you can tell today, we're looking nice and glowy. And this is pretty. I actually layered these in the first impression video, but I still wanted to use them like separately. And they work really well. Whether you use them by themselves or you layer them, layering will give you more intensity. So if you have a deeper skin tone, that might work for you. I like both, I really do. They just give a different finish, so a different look to the cheeks. And I have just found with Essence and also Catrice that these berry tones are often really good for my skin tone. And then I think one of the more exciting launches from the entire new range is the Catrice Velvet Pudding Blurring Blush in Raspberry Fudge. This comes in a couple of shades. This is a dupe for the Fui Pudding Pot. We all know it. And this is really pretty. It's a little bit more warm toned than I had hoped in this shade, but it is a really beautiful product and I have decided to keep it around. I don't have to keep all of the dupes around of that Fui Pudding Pot because I really still like the original. So I have a couple of those shades. I did declutter some in my declutter in March, but this is fine. I'm happy with this. They came out with some new mascaras. This one is currently in my Shop My Stash. It's the Glam & Dull Sculpt and Volume Waterproof Mascara. This is like an updated version of the old Glam & Dull that they still do. And I like the old one better. This one is a little bit spiky. I'm not sure if you can see that with the brush. It's quite flat and then it has longer bristles along the sides. And if I hold this brush incorrectly, it just hurts my lids. So I have been using this. It's getting a little bit dry already, so it's going to be moved out of my Shop My Stash for the April Shop My Stash because I'm just not in love with this one. The old Glam & Dull is just as good. Probably even better for me because I like the wand better. Another waterproof mascara is from Essence. This is the False Lash or the Lash Princess False Lash Effect in the Extreme Waterproof. This is the one that I'm going to be rolling into my Shop My Stash next. I love the Lash Princess from Essence. I've used several renditions, so this is not going anywhere. I still need to test it out a little bit more, but I know I love that, and the brush and all that, just, it ticks all the boxes. This is the Lash Without Limits Tubing Brown Mascara. I have finally found a tubing mascara that does not hurt my eyes, which I'm very happy with. I like this in the brown. It's by Essence. I've been using it quite a bit with some of the looks that I've been doing in March, and I'm really, really enjoying this. It's got a nice brush. What I have found with a lot of tubing mascaras, because it forms little tubes around your lashes and they can be like wiped off, because I have allergies and my eyes tend to be a little bit watery up because of it, the tubes would actually break down throughout the day and I would end up with little tubes either below my eyes or sometimes in them, which then made my eyes really irritated and itchy, which is why a lot of tubing mascaras haven't been ideal for me. And I have said that if you are like a contact lens wearer or anything like that, you may want to watch out with tubing mascaras. But this one removes like a dream. I don't get the little like bits that dry out and then fall into my eyes. So this is really nice. It doesn't smudge, and I do really enjoy this. This could be a potential like I'm gonna buy again sort of thing. If they do this in the black, I would like that even better. And then they came out with some singles as well. And some of these I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna use them more. And others I was like, that's a bit of a shame. So the one I'm going to use more of is the Catrice Muted Brown Single Shadow, because I think it's always good to have like a single shadow in my everyday makeup drawer for those days where I'm like, I want to do something quick and easy, or hey, this eyeshadow palette doesn't have a really good like crease shade for me, and to have like a standard crease shade I thought could be nice. So this is going to live in my makeup everyday makeup drawer. Same thing for this beige shade. This is just Soft Beige by Essence. This is also new by them. I've hit pan on my single shadow from MAC that I use to set my eyeshadow base with, and I think this can be a nice replacement for that, so that also lives in my everyday makeup drawer. And then I'm also keeping Blushed Stardust. I showcased this in a recent video. I think I did it in February, where I compared this to Space Cowboy by Urban Decay and the ColourPop Super Shock in Ritz. This is the exact same thing, and it's pennies at the drugstore. So Blush Stardust now lives in my single shadow collection because I like it so much. The one that was a little bit of a disappointment is Neutral Brown by Essence, because this looks so nice and neutral in the pan, and then I used it and it almost looked as orangey yellow as what I've got going on my eyes today. Not this intense, of course, but it had that sort of undertone. It turned very weirdly orange on me, which if you have a cool undertone, you know that that can be part of the game. With this, I was just a bit surprised that it happened. This was a massive, massive hit for me. The Deep Velvet eyeshadow palette from Catrice. I really like this. It's actually on my list to do another look with sometime this week. I'm almost out with like trying all of the eyeshadow that I had selected for myself in March. And I still have a couple of days left until I can film my Shop My Stash. So I probably will have to do my makeup once or twice before I get to do that sort of run over from like March into April and select some new things. And I do want to do like another look with these like burgundy tones. It's really beautiful. I kept this over another drugstore palette in my declutter, if you did see that. And I'm really happy with this. This is a much more unique color story than Catrice has ever done. And they've definitely been changing the formula for the better with these little palettes that they've been doing for a few years now. And that brings me to the final category, and that's lips. So for lips, I did one giant overview video where I swatched everything onto my lips, and some of these have actually made it into my everyday lipstick collection. The only thing I didn't put in there is the Blur Real by Catrice. This was really not my formula. There were some other things in that video I was like, don't really love it. But I liked all of these things that I'm now holding. So there were a couple of other things that I'm sure I said I didn't like. I already put those with my declutter pile, and I forgot to say like, okay, I need to keep these in here, save for the Blur Real. But I decided to keep the Peptide Bliss Glossy Lip Balm. This is a dupe for the Rhode Lip Balm that I like. So this is a keep. I'm wearing the Essence Juicy Balm Plumping Gloss in Sour Cherry. This is so pretty on and really, really great for the summertime. It's hydrating, it's glossy, and it's got a nice color payoff. Then the Catrice Color Glaze Lip Tint. I put this on in my video, and I was rightly, I had decided that this was going to be my final lip product of the video, because I put this on and this lasted all day. I went dancing at night, didn't get home until past midnight, and this was still on like 6 hours later. So It was intense. It was intense. And then a surprise to me were these Blur Soufflés from Essence. This is a beautiful cool tone mauve shade if that's what you're looking for. And I love the red, and this is really pretty. If you just dab it into the middle of the lip and then you do this ombre effect that you see a lot in Asian beauty trends going on. These are really good, and they do dry down, but they do give you a little bit of playtime as well. So loving those. Really interesting formula that's a little bit more unique from the drugstore. And that's everything that I wanted to share with you today. So these are all of the Essence and Catrice products that I have. You will have seen all of the shorts that I did create with some of these products on the side. I haven't managed to create all of those shorts yet, so stay tuned because I will be posting those in the next couple of weeks. I'm a little behind with filming my shorts and posting them, so they are like sitting on my phone ready to post. What's going on there? But yeah, thanks so much for watching me here today. If you want to see more content by me, then do check back because I do make 4 videos a week over on this channel. I have a second channel called Floating in Books where you can see more behind the scenes stuff if that's what you want to see. And then I have other social media as well. So any links can be found in the description box down below. And I hope to see you again really, really soon in a new video. Bye-bye.